Hi folks, I'm Stephen Cronin, thanks for joining me again. And if you just want to paint fast, loose watercolours with a big brush without worrying about detail, then just watch this. So all this is just clear water. This will just stop the paper from doing all crinkly. And then I'm just going to just whack on a bit of colour, I think. Bit of that there. Bit of that. Bit of that. This is alizarin, crimson. Next switching to blue. Just dipping the tips in, just to bring the hairs back together of the brush. Push that in there like that. It's got a bit dirty, so I'm just going to clean the brush, get back to a cleaner colour. Just bring a bit of light red into it, mix with the alizarin. And it looks a complete mess at the moment, but hopefully it'll all come together over the next 10-15 minutes, fingers crossed. Now back into these lighter colours. Don't be afraid to let your brush dance around the page. It's quite liberating when you just allow your brush to do whatever you want, anything you want. This is just a bit of light I'm creating up in the sky. And then what I'm doing, I'm mixing all those colours together. Just printing what's going to be the stars of some land, just right in the distance. Going to go up there like that. I want some darker sections. Let's just push in some darker clouds. A little bit out. A little bit of texture, clouds and things with the tissue. Just using a clean piece of tissue. Let's just strengthen. Actually, no. What I'm going to do is draw what I've got, fix that in place, and then go over the top of it. And then where the paper stretched a little bit, I'm just going to pull it tight against the board so it's flat against the surface. I'll crack on with it then. What I'll do, I'll give it a quick spray with the water. I'm just going to quickly go back into some light colours. Some of them up there. Some really dark clouds. Just strengthen these. blend these together. Just using a clean damp brush, not much water on it, just enough to let the paint do its thing. I'm going to have a bit more blue up here, I think. A bit more blue up here. Some of that colour down the bottom. And then I'm just going to have just a hint of just a bit of mountain detail. Not too much. Put some over this side as well. Texture of the clouds. A quick dry. A little bit of water. And back. Just go back up here a little bit. And I want something in the foreground there. Well, still in the middle ground, just sort of sweeping its way around. What I might do is flick some of them lighter colours in that water section. Just going to put these lighter colours in there. And I'll come back, I'll take some of that out in a minute. And then what I want to do, I want a sort of dark foreground section here, like some sort of prominent point the viewer's stood on. Can't see it yet, but it'll take shape in a minute. Yeah, in case you just keep drying it, wetting it, re-drying it, wetting it. Eventually the whole thing starts to take shape. What I really need now is something dark. I want just a simple foreground just going across there. Maybe a couple of trees growing from it. But it's got to be dark to contrast against the rest of the painting. What I might do first is, I've got to make sure I'm happy with this area, and then once I'm happy, I'll sort of straighten off the water. So you can imagine it's just the sun just catching that bit of water there. Make sure that's straight. Something like that. And then I'm going to put just like a sort of a standing viewpoint just up here somewhere. So it's going to have to go on in 2 or 3 layers to get that sort of depth of dark. That's like the first layer. I'll come back to that in a sec. I just want to pop some up here. I think just something. Just bring the land along. Brush getting a bit worn now. I can't quite get that chisel edge. I'm just going to bring that round, something like that. And then sort of darken this. And again, quick dry. Let's just darken this a little bit. Bring that down. And you see, this is the third layer I've put up here, and you can see now it's got nice and dark now. Go one more. So you have to, when you overdo it, you can easily take the paint off. I was going to use a rig and put in some trees, but I think they'd just get in the way really. What I'm going to do is take the rigger brush and just pop in a little boat somewhere on the distant hills and on the distant horizon. So I'm thinking somewhere, not there because it's too central, it's going to have to be off centre somewhere, so I'm going to pop it just down there. Just dry it with a tissue, take the paint off. Just make that a little bit more like a boat. I think I'm going to need a couple more, I think. Another one there. 3 little boats right in the distance. Always have some little birds up there. And then I'm just going to finish it off, just stick my name in the corner. I'm going to call this one finished, I think. Let's just sign it over here out of the way. Right, and let's stick a mount on this now and see what it looks like. So here's our finished painting the mount. So go and have a closer look at it. Starting with the sky, now there's a whole mix of colours up in there. We've got yellows, reds, blues, and I've just let the water, the wet paper, just sort of merge them all together. A little bit of tissue work there, just to suggest a few clouds and a bit of texture up in the sky. And then just basically, I just allowed that sky then to mix in with the sort of top of the mountains right in the distance. Just used a bit of the card. Probably overdone that actually. I just wanted that a bit more subtle. I was going to paint over some of it, but I forgot basically. And then you can see, so you've got that sort of tonal range there, and you can see how it's darker starting from there and then coming around to the foreground. Deliberately got it. Took about 3 layers just to get that sort of depth of dark tone. And you can see I deliberately brushed some right across the light head as well, just to get the maximum contrast that I possibly could. I was tempted to use a bit of acrylic, but I thought I'll just take the paint off, just suggest the boats there. Just use a damp rigger brush and then a bit of tissue. And basically the idea is that the light's catching the water there and a little bit coming down through right into the foreground before you hit the shadows. And then I always like to add a few little birds up in the sky. So that's it for this one. I hope you enjoy that. Thanks always for watching. Do join me over on patreon.com/Stephen Cronin. You'll be more than welcome. Post all your paintings on the community page, join the community, join in all the conversations. So until next time, keep practicing. If you've got any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.